folks, welcome to Unorthodox Fisherman. I just wanted to do a quick fish tank update. A lot's changed since our first fish tank updates. For one, I got a bigger tank. Oh, there go the bluegills again. But yeah, I picked up this 55 on the corner. I was driving around and I saw this thing and I was like, huh. I was like, well, free fish tank. There's a few scratches here and there, but you know, that doesn't bother me. This is just a temporary tank for the next year or so. But I just wanted to do this update and maybe do a little feeding. I know the bass is hungry. I haven't fed him in the past day or so, and bluegill are always hungry. So I wanted to feed them here and show you. But a little bit about my experience here so far. Easiest fish keeping in the world, man. Keeping bluegill and bass. You just have to give them food, man, and they can live in almost any type of environment. As far as the plants go, most of the grass in there I bought from a pet store. A few of the plants in here, like this stuff, grown up tall, I actually plucked that from a lake, and it started out as like a little shoot like that little guy there, and as you can see, it's just taken over my tank. But I'm okay with that because I kind of want the choked look. I want to look choked up with weeds because bass like places to hide. And yeah, he's hungry right now. That's why he's chasing these bluegills. He could never eat one, but he'll certainly try. The driftwood in there is actually an old fence post that my brother found on our grandpa's farm, and we chipped away all the rot and all the excess crap, and wire brushed it off and sanded it off, and it turned out really nice. And for anybody who is interested in looking for your own driftwood, because if you started a fish tank, you already know that things like driftwood are really expensive. So a piece like this might be $100 in a pet shop easily. So I saved myself a bunch of money by putting a do-it-yourself driftwood. There isn't, where I live, there isn't many woods around here that you can put inside of an aquarium, but Osage orange is the most common. It's super dense and super rot resistant, so you can keep it submerged in water for years and it won't rot. So that's why it's really popular. Feeding them frozen cubed food, like it'll have brine shrimp and mysis shrimp and all sorts of different shrimps and planktons and stuff in it, and it's just super easy, and they're only like $6-7 for a pack, and it lasts me an entire month. So I grab a couple packs of different stuff and mix up their diet, give them different things. But first I'll dump in some mysis shrimp. It's just this it's like this white shrimp stuff. And there it is in a cube, but it comes frozen, and so I melted it, and I like to melt it in water and then stir it up so it all breaks apart. The bass, he might swipe a few just because he thinks it's fish, and then I usually save some for the darters. I don't dump it all in, but yeah, the bluegill, they just go crazy over it. And under this little rock here, there's a black bullhead, and he occasionally comes out and swipes some of that shrimp, but you rarely see him. He hides, and I'm not going to waste time trying to show you guys because he's really hard to see. But here we go. The bass, he's looking around. He's like, why are there no fish? But the bluegill are just chomping away at everything. So right here in this bucket, I got 2 goldfish, and it just makes it easier for filming purposes. Usually I just net one and throw it in, but I feed them 1 or 2 at a time, and I house the spare ones in the darter tank, mainly because they won't eat the darters, so I don't have to worry about that. And I don't like dumping the entire 2-3 dozen goldfish in the tank with him, because he'll just gorge himself and release a bunch of nitrates. The water gets cloudy really quickly, and not only that, I'll come home and he'll be stuffed full. He can't eat another bite, and there'll be 2 or 3 dead goldfish laying on the bottom that he tried eating but couldn't eat. So I I feed him one at a time, two at a time, just because he'll gorge himself, and it's counterproductive. All right, he's already ready. Oh, oh, oh. I got one. There goes the other one. He'll get him. So we'll just keep our eye on the ball here. He already ate one. I didn't catch it on camera. It was so quick, but he's so hungry. He'll snatch that guy any second. He's just got to finish eating that first one. Once that first one's down, it's over with. He's just like, alright. Going down my throat, clearing my mouth, here we go. Oh, brutal. Brutal, tail first. Just absolutely brutal. Yeah, my girlfriend can't even watch this stuff. When I feed the fish, she turns away because he's doing victory laps. Yeah. You know, my dad saw, I had my dad come over, and he saw this, my bass eat, and he's like, man, that begs the question, how does any of those small bait fish and fry in the wild even survive when you have every little bass just going crazy and just gorging themselves, and they're so fast, and the bait fish just don't stand a chance. So it's interesting, but yep, there's his meal for the day. But alright, let's drop some of this mysis shrimp in here. There they go. There's not much. It's not much. Yeah, there's the male. There's 3 males in here, but only 2 of them are mature, I think. But that's the most colorful one. Honestly, his color is kind of faded in the past few days. You should have seen him a week ago. I mean, he was just bright red and orange. I mean, he was beautiful. But these are definitely some of the prettiest native fish in Illinois, in my opinion. I didn't even know they existed until about a year ago, honestly. I had no idea we had them here. But they're gorgeous. I mean, they're beautiful, they're easy to keep. They're not picky eaters at all. It took me a little while to figure out what they ate, but I did a little research and found out they prefer aquatic bugs. They're actually predators. So I thought, well, an aquatic bug is like a brine shrimp. You know, shrimp are kind of like water bugs. So I bought some brine shrimp, and they love brine shrimp. So I've been switching up between brine shrimp and bloodworms and blackworms and mysis shrimp, and they'll eat it all, man. I mean, if they can fit it in their mouth, they'll eat it. But they're really fun to watch. There's that other male in the back there taking a peek out, seeing what's going on. Oh, he's going back in his hole. But super cool fish, man. They're related to walleye and perch, so there's not many differences really. I mean, you can learn a lot about perch or walleye just by watching these guys, and they're super inquisitive. Like whenever you come up to the glass, they come right up to the glass. They want to see what you are. I mean, he's beautiful, but they get spooked easily too, and then they shoot away, dart away. That's their name, darters. But yeah, nothing too crazy about this tank. I'm definitely planning on putting in a 3rd tank this summer. Hopefully we can have people comment on suggestions on what we can catch. Keep in mind, I live in the Midwest, so there's certain species of fish that would be impossible for me to go after, or certain species of fish that are just not practical in keeping in a fish tank. But I have a couple spare tanks here just sitting here. I got a 30-gallon and a 20-gallon just sitting there, so I'll probably set up maybe the 20. So whatever I put in there will have to be small. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I could set up the 30 and maybe try to catch some baby crappie or something. I would love to have a yellow bass. That's also an idea I've thought of. But for now, I just got the 55-gallon lake tank, and then just this 10-gallon darter tank with a little jet filter thing pushing a slow current across the bottom, and then hitting the aerator back in the back corner, which creates a circulation, simulating a slow creek, which is what these guys are used to. So that's pretty much all I got for today. Thanks for tuning in. Hopefully here in the next couple weeks or month or so, we're gonna film an ice fishing video, and I'm hoping my cameraman can be around for that because I'm not the best cameraman, and he's got a much better camera than me. So hopefully we can film a ice fishing video. Probably going for crappie or bluegill, nothing too crazy, but I'm stoked for this spring. We're gonna definitely film a big bass episode, and I do a lot of micro fishing, but I also love catching big bass. That's something one of the only things I'm actually pretty good at. So hopefully this spring I'll go to a couple of my local lakes and I'll catch some behemoths for you to see.